Vincent Kennedy McMahon. VKM. Vince McMahon. The king of professional wrestling. The creator of sports entertainment. Net worth about $2 billion. In the early 1980s, he bought the WWF from his father and promoted along with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, and the Ultimate Warrior. Brought professional wrestling to mainstream. He bought out all the territories that was developed in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Bought them all out and created the WWF with the first WrestleMania in March 1984. NWA was still around. It became WCW. And in 2001, Vince McMahon bought out the WCW and became the sole owner, the only marketing in North America for professional wrestling until All Elite Wrestling in 2019. Now, to me, the top 5 things Vince McMahon has really done shady that he should be accounted for. The top 5 worst things he has ever done in his life as a promoter and as a human being. Here we go. Number 1, in no order. This is by the earliest date. The whole covering of Jimmy Superfly Snuka's murdering his girlfriend at the time in the 80s. Vince McMahon either bought out or convinced the police not to investigate the murder of Jimmy Snuka's girlfriend at the time. There's evidence from Dark Side of the Ring from the girlfriend's mom or the sister that he called the girlfriend's mom and offered her about $20,000 to keep quiet. So Vince McMahon, for him, one of his early stars before Hulk Hogan became a star was Jimmy Snuka and Andre the Giant at the time. He wanted Jimmy Snuka not to go and face any trial, not to get any charges, not to go to jail. He offered the family of the girlfriend he murdered about $20,000 to keep quiet. He obviously paid the police. He obviously made them case closed or made it a cold case. And now Jimmy Snuka, at the end of his life, when he died about a couple years ago, well, there's 2015, 2016, 2017, he was on trial for the murder, and he obviously killed his girlfriend. Whether it's by accident or not, he killed either manslaughter or first or second degree, and Vince McMahon, he knew about it. So right there, Vince McMahon, he tried to cover murder, forget about murder, to keep one of his biggest stars, for him to continue and grow his business and its popularity. Right there, Vince McMahon, that's a horrible, horrible human being. Number 2. Let's see. There's rumors that Pat Patterson, until a couple years before his death, he was in the closet. He was not openly gay, and there's nothing wrong being gay or lesbian. But at the time, because I have a huge, strong connection and relationship with the LGBTQ community, they love me and I love them. But Pat, he was secretly gay, which is fine. At this time, you should be open and proud about it. But there was many incidents where he obviously made a lot of passes or advances on the ring crew, and even sexually harassed one of the interviewers. There's rumors that, especially that interview with Bruno Sammartino, Larry King, and Vince McMahon, and Pat Patterson, either harassed or inappropriately touched one of the ring crew and interviewers. So right there, that's a pretty shady thing. He didn't fire Pat Patterson. He should have got rid of Pat Patterson for all his allegations, but he was very close to Pat, and he's the godfather to Stephanie McMahon. Number 3, the whole Owen Hart tragedy. In May 23rd, 1999, Owen Hart was lured to the ring. Supposed to be lured to the ring. It snapped, and he fell at least 70 to 90 feet and landed in the ring. And within a couple of minutes, he died. And guess what? They still continued the show. When obviously on camera someone falls 90 feet from the ceiling and brings him to the ambulance at the hospital, they still continue the show when someone died right there at the scene at the ring. That show should have been stopped, and people should have told people to go home, because that was potentially a crime scene. Okay, that could have been a crime scene, and they should have put crime scene yellow tape all around the ring and the arena. The show should have been stopped. So that was pretty fucked up. Okay. Wow. He still continued the show. And the Owen Hart tribute show the next night on Raw was, a lot of people disagree with that, but that was fine compared to continuing the show for Over the Edge. Good Lord. Shady. Now, I'm not going to bring up, the whole Montreal Screwjob with Bret. Obviously, I'm on Bret's side. But now to think about it, you can't really blame Vince McMahon for what he did. And Bret Hart should have done a job. Now, it was pretty bad, on Bret's defense. Sean told Bret, I would not. Bret told Sean, I don't mind putting you over. And Sean said, I appreciate that, but I don't think you're worthy of me putting you over. So, that's not fair to Bret. But Bret should have done the job somehow. And you can't blame Vince McMahon. And plus, Bret got his revenge of spitting in his face and knocking him the fuck out and giving that black eye. Now, a lot of people think it was scripted. It was all work. No, it was real. It was fucking real. But I think, you could say Bret knew that was going to happen. And the whole documentary thing was too kind of perfect, but it was real. But I'm not going to put that in Vince McMahon's top 5 worst shady things ever done. Okay. Number 4. I also want to put, when Martha tried to sue the WWF, he tried to counter-sue her. So you're trying to counter-sue the widow of... And also, too, the reason why Owen Hart was being lured to the ring was to make fun of Sting's being lured to the ring in WCW at the time. With his Crow and he was in his prime at the time. So the whole thing, him being as a Blue Blazer, being lowered down to the ring, was to make fun of Sting. Make a mockery of Sting's entrance in WCW. And him trying to counter-sue Martha with a lawsuit that her husband died, and literally on the scene of the job from the cable. Yeah. And Vince McMahon's insurance covered that $19 million settlement to Lord Martha, okay? Number 4, you could say all this. God, good Lord! I'm kind of look at many of the divas. He fucking God Lord, it's kind of hilarious, but he's the man for getting away with it. He had a lot of freaking being sexual with the whole divas, starting with Trish, Tori Wilson's first appearance in WWF, Stacy Keibler, Candice Michelle, Sable. My God, literally made out with Trish right in front of his wife Linda on SmackDown in February 2000. But still, it's for entertainment. And even Linda's defense in the whole McMahon DVD, that it creates him made him look like he has a certain value. So, anyways. Number 4, exploding Eddie Guerrero's death. Eddie Guerrero died of a heart attack, of heart failure in November 2005. I love Eddie Guerrero. The whole Here Without You, Three Doors Down. Every time I hear that song, I always think about Eddie. Eddie was literally in the prime of his career. He died at 38 before he was 40. He was supposed to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Batista within that week or that month. No Mercy 2005. No. He lost to Batista. He was supposed to beat Batista the next pay-per-view. and become a two-time world champion. He was a WWE champion, beat Brock Lesnar in No Way Out 2004. Um, and he's supposed to win his first time being a world heavyweight champion, and his second time being a world champion. He's supposed to beat Batista. So exploiting his death, saying there's a skit where either him or the other people they mention Eddie, like you're gonna go to where Eddie is, and they point him down and saying that you're gonna go to where Eddie is, and he's in hell. Having Edge make out with Vic Guerrero. Exploiting Eddie Guerrero's death was this piece horrible. Number 5, the whole he should have really faced some consequences, some certain hearing. He was very lucky he got away with it. The whole Chris Benoit double murder, suicide tragedy. Probably even Brett said this is worse than Owen Hart's thing because that was an accident. Benoit killing his wife, his son, himself in a 3-day span, a weekend span, and him just now reaching out to Chris Benoit's other family. He's got 2 other kids, a son and a daughter, especially that son. Daniel's the one that he killed. That's his second wife with Nancy. And his other son looks a lot like him. What's his name? Not Daniel. It's what's his name? But you know what I'm talking about, his other son, right? There's rumors supposed to be in All Elite Wrestling soon. And not reaching out. And just sending Jim Ross to the funeral. He was people didn't want him there. And erasing Benoit from the history. Which is fine, he should not be in the Hall of Fame, but not reaching out to Benoit's family, his parents and his other 2 kids, that's pretty shady, that's pretty fucked up. And not giving him they knew he was suppressed, I think now, to come to think about it, along with the concussions and everything, he really wanted to kill himself so he could be with Eddie Guerrero again. He really missed Eddie Guerrero, and he wanted to bring his wife and son. And that's the only explanation. It's not because I don't think he lost his temper because of steroids, whatever. He decided, you know what, I'm going to kill myself. I just thought, I miss Eddie Guerrero so much, I'm going to kill myself, but I'm going to bring Nancy and my son Daniel with me. That's just my opinion. But Vince McMahon not reaching out to Chris Benoit's other family members, Chris Benoit's oldest son saying that they just want to they just forget about me. Like it never happened, and pretend who I didn't know where I was. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So Vince McMahon, he has to be a ruthless businessman, a ruthless boss, but not to do things that are against humanity, and not to do things that will get him in jail. And there's obviously, reports he's faced sexual harassment from flirting or doing something inappropriate against a girl at a tanning salon. Vince McMahon, what goes around comes around. But I still love what you have done for the business. And I don't think he's there. He's never going to sell the WWE. It's going to go to Shane, Stephanie, and Hunter. And yeah, he's not going to sell for $10 billion to Disney or MGM, whatever. He's going to be handed down. He's probably going to live into his 80s because he's very healthy. He takes good care of himself, and he's got doctors, the best doctors money can buy. And yeah, this is my thoughts on Vincent Kennedy McMahon.